Shalom everyone. In this video we're gonna learn about the 72 names, a little deeper aspect of the 72 names, and I will introduce you to the 72 name prayer. So we begin by showing you this chart, the 72 name chart. Most of you know it. So just briefly, we know it has 72 names, consists of 3 letters each, altogether 216 letters. Now we're going to start by the source of the 72 names, and before that we need to look at the Yud Kei Vav Kei name. This is the foundation, the name of mercy in the world, and numerical value is 26. Now in the process of creation, from the endless came out 4 different worlds, actually 5th, but the first one is Adam Kadmon, and we don't really count it here because there are 4 worlds. Adam Kadmon is actually the blueprint for the entire creation, but it's considered as a world. So the first name, you see, this is the spelling of the Yud Kei Vav Kei name, and there are different spelling. The Yud always Yod Vav Dalet. Yod Vav Dalet always. The Hey can be spelled as Hey Yud, Hey Aleph, or Hey Hey. The Vav can be spelled as Vav Yud Vav, Vav Aleph Vav, or Vav Vav. The Hey, again, Hey Yud, Hey Aleph, or Hey Hey. Now, in the word of Atzilut, it's higher level, so we used only the Yud to spell the name, and the numerical value is 72. And Binah, the next level, Olam Bria, world of creation, we changed the Vav to Aleph, which takes from the Keter, and basically this is the creative force that deliver or give us the life force and the light to the world. The name of Zeir Anpin, numerical value 45, Yod Hey Aleph Vav Aleph Vav Hey Aleph, is the process, the world of formation where everything is formed and delivered to Malchut. Malchut, numerical value 52, this is the name as it's spelled, and it's called a double name of the Yud Kei Vav Kei. The Yud is Yud and the Vav Dalet. The Yud is 10, the Vav and Dalet is 10. It's like a duplicate, but the Yud is, that's how it's spelled always. Hey Hey, Vav Vav, Hey Hey. Now, the 72 names is related to the Tikkun process of the world. And we're going to continue here. Maybe before that, we're going to go to the source of the 72 names. And we see here, these are the 3 verses from Exodus 14, verses 19, 20, and 21. And these verses comes just before the splitting of the Red Sea and before Israel crossing the Red Sea. Now, just verses before that, the Egyptians that were chasing the Israelite came close, and the first verse says that the angel of God, who has been going before the camp of Israel, moved and went behind them, and the pillar of cloud moved from before them and stood behind them. So the protection of the Israelite, the cloud and the pillar of fire, moved behind them to block the Egyptians, Pharaoh and his army that came after them. And he came between the camp of Egypt and the camp of Israel. And there was the cloud and the darkness, and it lit up the night without one coming near the other all night. So that's the protection that the angel of God and the cloud and the pillar of fire brought to the Israelite. And then, since they have the protection, now Moses can really split the sea and let the Israelites cross the sea. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and Yod-Keh-Vav-Keh drove a strong east wind all night and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. Now, one interesting thing here is we see that the sea made the sea dry land, and then the waters were divided. So how come dry land and then the water divided? So in any case, it's a deep study, but everything exists in potential before the actual physical manifestation. So this is the word. Now, the 72 names, we said, came from the Atzilut through a process. And on the right side we see here, it's the section from Zohar B'Shalach, the main paragraphs that talks about the formation or the 72 names as 3 columns. And you can just use your Zohar and go to B'Shalach, and these are the paragraph numbers. And there's a lot to study on the 72 names over there, but these are the main. And I had a reason why I brought this here. In any case, the first verse is the right column, Vayisa Malach Elohim, and it's the right side. The second verse, Vayavo ben Machane Mitzrayim, is the left column, and the third verse is the central column. Now they all comes together in Malchut and form the merge together. And we see like the first name of the Yod-Keh-Vav-Keh is Vav Hei Vav, which is the, we see it here, the Vav of Vayisa, the Hei of the end of Vayavo, and the Vav of Vayet of the central column. But that's most of you already know that, and there is a reason why it made this way, and the Zohar explains it great. Another thing that's important to understand is that the 72 names is actually, as the Zohar express, I'll read it here in Aramaic, ושתי עטרות מצד של אבא ואמא, and 2 crowns from the side of father and mother, חוכמה ובינה, and there are 72 names. And we studied from the side of Chesed 70 and 2 witnesses. From the side of the Gvura 70 and 2 scribes. And from the side of Tiferet 70 and 2 shade of colors, which is basically vibrations of energy, to glorify. So the Zohar clearly states here that there are 70 names and 2 witnesses. And we can understand it easily because we know the world of Malchut with its process is 70, the 7 Sefirot from Chesed to Malchut, and each one has its own 10 Sefirot, so it's 70. So it makes sense that we have 70 plus 2. And we can see it here. You see the Vav Hei Vav repeats in number 49, and the Medvet Hey repeats here at the lower level. Now, you see the different color the Zohar teaches us. They have the first 24 is for the right column, the second is for the left column, and the last is for the central column. And we see that the 2 witnesses or 2 scribes or 2 colors are in the central column. Okay, now let's go deeper. This is the name of Atzilut, Yod-Keh-Vav-Keh of Atzilut. This is to show the spelling, and this is the name as the force with no separation. So this way, it's with full power. So you can scan it nicely. Now, as the Zohar said, Chesed, the numerical value is 72, Chet is 8, Samech is 60, and Dalet is 4. Gevurah, the left column, is 216. The numerical value of Gevurah is 216. Now, another fact that before we go into the explanation, we know that the world was created with 10 sayings, and a 10 saying of, and God said, let there be so and so. And 10 times God said it throughout the story of creation. The name God, Elohim, appears 32 times in the story of creation. And everything is significant. Now, 216 plus 72, because there are 216 letters and 72 names. And you can add the identity of the name as one to the individuals. And so we see here 288, which is known as Rapach Nitzotzin. This is the world of Tikkun, is related to 288 sparks that we need to correct through the generations. And this is also 9 times, so the 9 Sefirot of Light times 32. So 9 times 32 is 288. Again, this is the work that we need to bring the light. We are in Malchut, we need to do that. Why we don't do all the 10 Sefirot? Because since we are in Malchut, our portion is 32. Because the world was created actually with 320 lights, and the 9 Sefirot of Light has 288, which is a result of the breaking of the vessel, and these things that you can study in the 10 luminous emanation, the Tree of Life from the Ari. But generally, we need to look at this number as the world of Tikkun. And another aspect of 288 is 72 times 4 is also 288. The 72, and for each world, okay? Because every world has its own set of worlds. Now, the Zohar also explains to us, I'll show it a little later, we'll get to it. The word Bereshit is numerical value 913, and small gematria 9 plus 1 plus 3 is 13, which means love. And the Zohar tells us that 17 names come from the source of Ahavat Chesed, loving kindness. And this love comes from Bereshit, which is the small gematria is Ahava, and also it appears also here, the 13 is. And we know from the Ana B'Koach that the first 6 letters of the Ana B'Koach came from the word Bereshit, the 6 letters of Bereshit. And the numerical value is 506, which is Ahavat Chinam. And we see here that, it's amazing how the world was created with love, giving us love. And the name that's number 32 in the 72 names is Vav Shin Resh, and has the numerical value of 506. Again, Ahavat Chinam, connect to the seed levels of creation. There will be an interesting article on KabbalahSecrets.com that connect the Ana B'Koach and the Vav Shin Resh. You just follow the KabbalahSecrets.com and you'll find a very interesting article about that, about the 42 letter names, the Ana B'Koach and the Vav Shin Resh. Also, we should know that the first letter of the Torah is Bet of Bereshit, and the last letter of the Torah is Lamed of the Israel, so Bereshit and Israel. So, and the numerical value of these 2 letters is 32. And by the way, we have 32 strings in the tzitzit that we wear under the shirt. Is again, it connects us to this love, to the Torah. That's why wearing a tzitzit is like fulfilling all the mitzvot of the Torah. Why? Because it has the 32 paths of wisdom, 32 times the word Elohim appears in the story of creation, and many other things. So wearing a tzitzit for men, another aspect is very, very important, and I highly recommend it. You can post questions on the website. I'll be happy to answer more about this. Okay, this is copied from the Torah scroll, and we see this paragraph from Genesis 2, verse 1. This paragraph describes the completion of creation. Vaychulu hashamayim ve'aretz. And this is where, in the word la'asot, to make the story of creation ends here. Okay, this is the paragraph where it ends. And the first three letters of the first three words is Vav Hei Vav, which is the first sequence of the 72 names. It's also very important. The first word itself, Vayechulu, is numerically 72. So we see here how the creation and the final thing, the manifestation, is related to the 72 name of 72 and the 72 names. And about the aspect of Chesed, paragraph that follows, Ele toldot hashamayim ve'aretz behi bar'am. These are the generation of the heaven and the earth when they were created. And we see here the word when they were created is also the letters of Be'avraham, which is the aspect of Chesed. And the little Hey is representing the Hey of Malchut, that the whole purpose of creation is Chesed to Malchut, to bring Chesed to Malchut. Now, we go into the explanation of the Zohar. This is from Akdamat Tikkunei Zohar, the introduction to the Tikkunei Zohar, which is a very, very important part of the Zohar, and unfortunately most publishers don't publish this. There are a few prints, but very little, because the Tikkunei Zohar has very little commentary. It's very deep, and fortunately I had the merit to do the study of the Tikkunei Zohar on a really relatively low level, but it's very important study. So, and going through the study, it helps the soul on all aspects in this life, and cleansing, protection, and a lot of other things. So I strongly suggest to go to the Daily Zohar and study it. We have the study from Daily Zohar number 1 until Daily Zohar 1069. So we have the entire study of Tikkunei Zohar, and I strongly recommend for everyone to go there. This is not like old news. This is deep Kabbalah secrets and study that affect us and help us spiritually on a very deep levels. Now, in this introduction of Tikkunei Zohar, it says, and Maskilim Yazhiru, those are the wise that will shine, those that knows the secret of, in the word Bereshit, which is love. And the Zohar explained here that the small gematria of Bereshit is Ahava, love, and it comes to Bereshit and Ahavat Chesed, and which is the Chesed is 72, numerically 72, and this was made to receive the name of Vayisa, Vayavo, Vayet. These are the first three words of the three verses of the 72 names, and in many places in the Zohar, the Zohar refers to this to the 72 names by the first words of the verses. So it's Vayisa, Vayavo, Vayet is the reference in the Zohar to the 72 names. But the idea here is that to connect, that the Zohar connect Bereshit, love, and 72 names as Ahavat Chesed, loving kindness, and so it's important to understand that. So the name of Atzilut that expressed through this, the Bereshit, the love, and the Chesed, and 72 names, is very important for us. Here the Zohar tells us that before the final redemption, the last exile, will experience 70 years of exile, and we will be like poor, and the poor in the Zohar is somebody that has nothing, that on a material level, and is considered to be as death, and what's left is the soul. And when a person is disconnected from the physical stuff and connect his soul to the love, Ahava, and Bereshit, it's like he created the world. So it's important to understand that really to get the highest level of spiritual connection is to go above the material aspect. So when we use the 72 names, it's not for the, get something. Many people look at the 72 names and pick names and say, oh, this name is powerful for me. Oh, this is a great angel for me. I can do that. I can have sustenance. I can have a boyfriend. I can get married. I can be healthy and stuff. For you to know, very few names has significant or can be used individually. I do not recommend using or separating this full force individually. You see that everything is a whole. They have 3-column system, and everything is significant. So even if you have a specific name like Mem He Shin or Aleph Lamed Dalet that you want to meditate individually, scan the entire table, entire 72 names, and then focus on it. So you get the background, all the entire energy, and then you can ask for whatever energy support you want to have. So always treat the 72 names as a whole. Very, very important. Even if you meditate on individual name, start by scanning the entire 72 names. Now, the 72 name prayer. I found in a book of Rabbi Menachem Azaria Mipano. It's a great Italian Kabbalist. And he took the 72 names and picked from Psalms. This is written by King David, Malchut, manifestation. He picked verses that has the Yud-Ke Vav-Ke name in it, and the sequence. And when we see here, the Vav Hei Vav says Ve'ata Adonai Magen Ba'adi Kevodi Umarem Roshi. So this is from Psalm 3:4, and you will see in all the slides that I prepared, you will see the source, the verse, so you can go and find the meaning. I didn't put English here or any other translation because if you see the translation, it's corruption. There's no energy over there. There's some logical understanding, but even this understanding that you get from the translation is very limited. It's only on the top surface of the surface. So if we want the energy of the 72 names, we need to look at the whole. So we look at the sequence and we look at the verse. We read the verse. That's very important. Hopefully I'll create a transliterated version of this so people can read it. This is the Mem He Shin, and we see the Mem here, the final Mem of Elokim here, and the Hey and the Shin. And the rest you can see in the 72 names prayer video.